up, boys? Calm down. Stay. Sit. Stay. No. Sit. Stay. No. Stay. Hold on. Sit. Stay. No. Sit. Stay. Good boy. Vamos lá. It's I.A.G Farms, all about God. Back out here this morning, back on the barn bill. And I'm just kind of walk y'all around and kind of give y'all the plan on what I plan on doing today. Yesterday, as you see, I got a lot of the framing done as far as like the foundational frames. And I got a couple of brace poles I need to put in, a couple of footers I need to dig and things like that. But first I'm gonna focus on, let me just turn you around and let you see as I walk around. But before I start digging my footers in the middle, because I'm gonna dig footers here, over there, and then over here, because I want to have that second story supported pretty well. And I'm gonna put in some big thick beams. I'm gonna probably screw together about maybe 3 2x4s, probably equivalent to my corner beams here, and have a beam going from the ground there to there, and the same thing on top of every footer that I dig to support that second story so that the load won't be on that whole 20-foot beam there. But on this beam here, the way that I made this beam, this is no longer just a regular 20-foot beam. Like, this beam is very structurally sound. Like, it's solid, very solid. And like I said, but I'ma still support it in the middle there, so we won't have any sag in the floor, anything like that. And like I said, I'm not done, with this framing project. Like I say, this is just the beginning. This is 1 day worth of framing. I gotta come in and put my lag bolts, because I have it screwed in with 5-inch, 4-inch construction screws, and those are good enough. But I also have, let me show you these. I'm gonna go around to every joint, every connection, and I'm gonna screw in these bad boys. These are lag screws. These are 6-inch, I think, 6 or 8-inch. I have some 6-inch ones, 8-inch ones, and some 4-inch ones, depending on where I'm gonna be screwing them into. But anyway, the main focus of today is gonna be to go ahead and get my rafters, my joist, my floor joist in this section for this first floor. And then once I get my floor joist in, I'm gonna go ahead and sheathe this. And then, like I said, once I get done sheathing it, probably after I do my floor joist, I go ahead and dig my footer, like I said, so I can be able to get in on both sides. I'm gonna dig my footer over there, dig a footer over there, because my footer over here is probably gonna be about a 1.5 foot. It's not gonna be real deep. It's not gonna be as deep as these corners, because these corners are down 4 foot, 3.5, almost 4 foot. But these footers here, just for brace and support, are gonna be down like in the ground at least about 1.5 foot, and then they're gonna come out the ground, until they touch the bottom of these boards. Same thing over here. And then I probably put one in the middle here, or I may just use like a cinder block or something like that and pour concrete in the middle. But the sides, I'm gonna actually dig into the ground and support over there. And then, like I said, I'm gonna have a pole that goes from there to there. The pole is not gonna actually go in the ground. It's gonna sit on top of the sheathing and then go up. And then you have to realize that this whole second story floor is gonna be supported by the first floor, because this whole thing that you see, everywhere that you see, is gonna be framed in, with 2x4s. And so the first floor is gonna fully support the second floor. And then on this back side, we're just gonna leave this open, because this is where the camper is at. We're gonna put a roof over the top of it, to keep the camper out of the weather. But we got boards to go over there as well. So it's gonna all come together, and y'all will see what it's like. Like I said, don't get don't get too flushed up with me right now, at this part of the build. Like I say, this is just day 2 of framing. So just, stick along for the journey and see how it comes along. And another thing is, a lot of you all asked about building inspections. Once y'all saw that I was gonna do a second story. And in this county, you know, as far as we are in the, you know, in the country, you know, we're deep, you know, down off in here. You know, this county, this city was probably annexed and just added to somebody's tax roll, you know, so there's not a lot of building regulations and codes out here. You know, they allow mobile homes and things like that, you know, structures that are not built well, shed houses, they allow all those things. And so when we build it, you know, we're actually overbuilding it, you know, and I am aware of the code, so I do look at different codes from different cities. I don't even just look at the code from our county and city. I look at the codes from different cities and different counties with stricter building restrictions, and I just kind of put all those things together and make my decisions based off that, and kind of learn as I go. You know, this is a farm. You know, we're not in the suburbs. You know, this is a farm. You know, we're deep out in the country, and you have to just learn as you go. Be able to adjust where you need to adjust. Like I said, I didn't expect to make a second story, but now that I'm making a second story, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna brace these poles up. You know, and like I say, they're solid enough to where they're not gonna move, but I do want to add in some extra support, which I plan on doing. Like I said, but I'm gonna focus on getting this first floor, getting the floor joists put in, just to like tie this board here and this board together, because that's the main thing right now, is just tying everything together, you know, so that take away that little bit of wobble that it has and make it structurally sound to where the wind, you know, it won't just come and just blow it down like in the middle of the bill. But it's solid. Like I say, it's solid. Those brackets there aren't going anywhere. They're set down deep into the concrete, and they're lagged down, like torqued down good. So yeah, so I'm gonna work on today, like I said, getting these floor joists in. And great, amazing comments. Keep those comments coming, because I learned a lot from you all. And if you all see anything that I'm doing in air, you know, let me know. And sometimes you might only see a part of what's going on. You know, you might not see the whole context and detail to what's going on, you know. And so like I say, you know, because it's a video, you know, I do edit things out. But as far as building codes, you know, we don't have any building codes in this county as far as building a small barn like this. You know, like I said, it's really, you know, when we build our house, now we have to apply for permits and different things like that, you know, septic permits, which we have. You know, we've had building inspectors out here as far as for our house. But we're in the process of getting our blueprints drawn up, and then we're gonna pull our building permits and things like that for the house. But as far as this barn, we don't need any building permits for this barn, you know. But it is wise to look at, you know, different codes from different counties, you know, to decide on how to, you know, bear loads and things like that. So that's enough talking. I'm gonna go and get back to work. So y'all just, you know, keep them comments rolling.
Of a spinning wheel where all I feel is the ice getting thinner. Step by step, day by day, I'm fighting a winner. Pushed around, I'm nowhere bound, no solid ground. How can I get back? How can I be strong? And all I do comes out wrong. I wanna be a saint, but I ain't. I'm far from. I wanna be brave.
All right, y'all, so I got done putting in my floor joist. I still had to come in and put in, you know, braces in between each joist so they won't wobble back and forth. But before I do that, because I want to go and put it in the floor joist so I can secure these two 20-footers here, you know, just to give it some more stability. As I say, we're just kind of working it down and getting stability as we go through, adding to it. And what I'm gonna do now, I had these extra pieces of sonotube. I have a piece here, piece over there, piece over there, and then a piece over here. 2 pieces that I'm gonna splice together. And what I'm gonna do is, because as I said, the original plan was not to have a loft up here. Like I said, it's gonna be a small loft, so it don't need too much, you know, reinforcement, because the walls are gonna reinforce it. But what I need to do is, because my load is gonna be from that top story, it's gonna be resting on this bottom story. So what I need to do is I need to come in and brace in this bottom story here. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna dig some footers down the ground, probably about maybe 1.5 foot. I don't need too much. If I can get down 2 foot, I might. I'm just gonna dig it with the shovel. I shouldn't have to use the post hole dig. I got a long shovel, long nose shovel. And I'm gonna dig down a little footer in the middle on each side. And what I'm gonna do is, after I dig these 2 footers here, this one here, and that one down there, I'm gonna dig it low enough to where I can fit a 2x6 underneath the floor here. And it's gonna be a 10-footer going there, and then a 10-footer going there. And I need to find another way to attach a footer there. I might have to use a cinder block and just concrete in some cinder block right there and dig a footer down in there. But I got a couple pieces of cinder block I could use for that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring a board from there to that cinder block that'll be sitting right there, and then from that board there, that sonotube there to there, and they'll both add some stability, and then I can screw all these boards into it. Once I do that, I may not actually need to add stability in between each one, because I'm gonna screw these boards, these floor joists into that board. But y'all will be able to see it better than I can talk about it. Like I said, I know a lot of y'all are probably, you know, looking like, you know, scratching your head and, you know, want to give me suggestions. And please bring them on, because you know, I'm a novice at this, but you know, I've learned some things over the years. You know, my wife and I, the house that we're in the process of selling in the city, we restored that house completely, you know, so we know a little bit about, you know, framing and plumbing and electrical and things like that. Like I said, I rewired this whole camper. I reframed the whole camper. Like I redid the roof. So, you know, we know a little bit. You know, we're not experts, but we know a little bit. So, you know, y'all just give us a little time to, you know, sure things up. But yeah, so I'm gonna get started digging those footers and getting those set so that I can add my structure to this first floor. And then once I'm done with the first floor, then I can go ahead and start running my floor joist for the second floor. All right, y'all, so I just cranked the tractor. I'm letting it warm up. I got this blue bucket on the tractor. I just got done, me and Tim Jr. setting these forms over here so that we can get these brace pieces poured. And as you see, we got some pieces of sonotube there. Got a piece over there. And you'll have to just kind of wait and see how we're gonna do it once we get done. But let me just turn around so you can see it. So I guess I'll give y'all kind of an example. Let me take one of these boards here, and I can't show you how it's gonna be. Because these footers here, these little brace pieces don't have to be deep, because these here are like 4 feet in the ground, and they're what's holding the actual structure together. These are just to stabilize and brace where it needs bracing. And so this is gonna be full of concrete, and there's gonna be a bolt sticking out of it. And then I'm gonna have a board bolted down into that right there. And then in order to support this floor going all the way through, I'm gonna have a board going like this right here, all the way down. And then that board is gonna come 10 feet like that, all the way under these boards. And all of these joists are gonna screw into that board as that board is under. And then there's gonna be another board here laying flat, just like over there in this section here, and it's gonna be bolted down, like I said, the same way, with a bolt sticking out of that, because I'm gonna fill that cinder block up with cement, with concrete. And then I'm gonna have a board on top of it, bolted down. And then that board that's coming under those boards that's screwed to those rafters, to those joists, is gonna stop halfway under this board here. And then it's gonna screw into that board that'll be down there. And then another board, another 10-foot board, is gonna start here and then go down here to this point. And so the whole middle of this floor is gonna be braced in and screwed in, and it's all gonna be tight and locked in. Now what's gonna happen here, at this point and at that point, is that a piece of board is gonna fit in and it's gonna be bolted down as well. But I'm gonna have a board, let's see if I can get it in there. I'm gonna have a board in there like that right there. And it's gonna be bolted down as well into this footer. And it's gonna be screwed down. So this board here is gonna be bolted down, lagged down, and then I'm gonna screw down through these boards and connect them to that. And then that will make it more solid there. And then it's also, what I'm gonna do is, once I get that braced in good right there, that'll be a good brace point so I can bear some load there. And then I'm gonna put about 2 or 3 2x4s together and make a board. I might put, I'm just gonna beef it up however strong I feel it needs to be, and I'm gonna put it there and let it come from that spot there, you know, once I put the OSB down, and then go all the way up. That'll be a part of my framing as I come around on this front wall. You know, it'll be like a load bearing beam, and it's gonna come from there and go up to there and bear the load of the middle of this 20-foot board here, because this 20-foot board is already sturdy and solid, but I want to bear the load right in the middle and let it come down right there to that footer. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here at that footer and bear the load going up to that board. And then once I get my I don't know if you call them floor joists or rafters, because it's gonna actually be the floor of the loft section. And once I get those in, I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna bear the load there up to there, and then I'm gonna bear the load there up to there. Same thing over here. That column there is gonna bear the load up to there, and then I'll be able to bring a board across there the same way I'm gonna do here and bear that load to that floor. So pretty much the top floor, the load is gonna be bore off of the bottom floor, and then the bottom floor, the load is gonna be bore by these concrete footers here. Like I said, we have these footers here that are 4 feet in the ground with solid concrete anchored in with concrete anchors, and then we're gonna have these here that are gonna be bolted down to the concrete anchor and screwed down to that board that's in there to connect my wood to my concrete. And then we're gonna have beefy beams that I'm just gonna build myself, because I could buy more 4x4s and do it with it, or I could just screw together 2 2x4s that would make a 4x4, you know. But I'm probably gonna do it, you know, even beefier than that. So we'll have load being bore on the corners and load being bore at all of the mid sections all the way through. So let's get over here. Tim's, are you ready, buddy?
Yeah.
Go pour some concrete. We don't have much concrete to pour, so we're not gonna pull out the big you know, container. We're just gonna use this blue bucket. But we'll go ahead and get that poured over there, because I have some concrete that was left over that the bags tore up on the back of my truck, and I ended up just scooping those in a pile over here. So we're gonna take the tractor over there to that pile and then get the concrete mixed up in this blue bin and go set some footers over here.
Come rain down your presence. Jesus, come inhabit the praise of the sinner and saint. Jesus, come and Jesus, move. Here and now we call on you, Lord, come and meet us today. Here and now, have your way. Open up the heavens, come rain down your presence. We know there's more.
It's I.A.G Farms, all about God. It's a beautiful morning out here today on the farm, and we're right back to it on the barn bill. It's the next day from what y'all saw yesterday, and hopefully I'm answering some of you all's questions now about this second store, because as I told you all before, the second store was not the original plan. We was just gonna do one store, but once I realized how tall my middle beams were, my wife and I decided we might well go ahead and put a second story on there. And we were kind of talking about it last night, and I'm gonna just kind of turn y'all around and kind of show y'all what we got done last night, or what all we did yesterday. Just kind of walk you through and catch you up, because I'm really playing the waiting game, because we set these boats and these piers here that we poured yesterday, and those boats or those screws are not, the concrete is still not cured yet. I probably need to give it a couple more days to cure completely, but I'm gonna see how it feels after a couple hours of sunshine, because by the time I got through pouring these piers, it was nighttime last night, and it was like 29 degrees, 30 degrees last night, and so they didn't get time to cure yet. So hopefully the sun will come and dry them up real fast and go ahead and cure them. But I'm gonna try my best not to rush them, because those are gonna be the foundational piers for that second store, and also to stabilize this first store. But let me just turn you around so I can just walk you around and show you what's going on. All right, so y'all know we have these. Y'all saw when we poured these corners here. We have 6 of these corners here. 1, 2, that's not actually a corner, but it's a corner now, but it's eventually gonna be the middle, because we are gonna extend the roof that way onto those piers, and then that way, onto that pier to make that A-frame. But we got 6 of these, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 on the other side there as well. And these here are dug about 3.5 feet into the ground, and that sonotube was all the way sunk down into the ground about 3.5 feet. Then it comes out of the ground, at different angles to get it level all the way around, at different levels to get it level all around. And then we filled it with concrete, and then we put these brackets here into the concrete and let that bracket cure in the concrete for about 3 days, and then we set our post. Now these brackets here, or these footers here, we poured yesterday, and as you can see, we have boats, anchor boats sticking out of them. Let me go and show you another one. Me and Tim Jr. actually already did that one last night, because we didn't know how we were going to be able to get this beam here anchored in without, with these other beams in the way. So we went on ahead and did that one, and like I said, they're pretty dry, but you can see we got it kind of sticking up through the board there. And I'm gonna put a nut and a washer and a nut on there, and drill it down real tight with the impact. And then these boards, which make the floor, these floor joists, are gonna screw down into that, and it's gonna give us a good solid connection on a good foundation. And then from there, I'm gonna build a real beefy support beam, and it's gonna go from there on top of that subfloor all the way up to this section here, and it's gonna bolt down into that, and it's gonna give us a good solid load bearing beam. And I'm gonna do the same thing on top of all of these footers that I poured. You got one there, you have one there. I did this one with a cinder block. As you can see, we got bolts sticking up through there. You have one here. Let's see, that one's kind of hard. And then we have another one. Show you this other one over here. And so for all you all who are asking about the load bearing of this second store, that's what we were already deciding to do, was to pour more support, because like I said, we didn't plan on having this second story at first. We're just kind of like doing it as we go, but we're gonna make sure that everything is safe and sturdy. As you can see, we got load bearing beams all the way that are gonna go all the way down through the middle here. And then we're gonna have once I get that, because like I said, I'm gonna put a piece of dead wood on top of there, and then anchor it down, drill it down real good with the impact drill. And then I'm gonna run a board all the way through here, and then it's gonna stop. It's gonna be a 10-footer. It's gonna stop there, and then it's gonna be a board anchored down into there, so it's gonna drill into there. And as that board is going underneath these floor joists, I'm gonna drill all of those floor joists into that board that's going under there. And it's gonna be the same way on this side. And like I say, on these, everywhere that I have a footer poured, there's gonna be a big beefy, once I put down the subfloor, there's gonna be a big beefy beam that I'm gonna build. I might make it a 2x6 or 2x4 or something like that, 4x4 at least. or a 4x4 or a 4x6 at least. I'm gonna make it about the same size as these. I might make it actually a little bigger, but I'm gonna have that sitting on top of the subfloor to support the top floor. It's gonna go up there and screw in right there, and then we're gonna have another one there. It's gonna go up and screw in another one there. But y'all get the point. So that's what we got going on today. Like I said, I'm trying to kind of peel it around so that I can let these bolts and let this concrete kind of cure a little bit, because it's still a little bit wet. The boat's not really moving, but you can just feel the concrete and tell that it's wet. You can look at the color, it's still dark gray instead of being light gray. So I'm gonna try to let those cure for a little bit. Maybe I can go in and do a little editing or something like that. But I wanted to include today's footage on this video. But since these boats are not dry yet, I may go ahead and edit this video and go and get it out to y'all. But you know, now y'all see, you know, what we're gonna do, you know, as far as supporting this top story. Let me just step back, because like I said, y'all just have to kind of be patient with us because like I said, we're just learning as we go. And these 20-foot beams, these are actually like they're solid. Like they're solid because the way I did them with these with putting two of them together and then drilling down these little support brackets in the middle. These little pieces of dead wood in the middle, and I made that one, those two 20-foot boards, I made it become one, and it's solid. And I did the same thing on this side. But you know, since we're gonna put a second story up there, because like I said, we didn't expect to put a second story, because if we didn't have a second story, just those beams up there would be good enough, because all it would be supporting is the roof. But since we're putting a second story up there, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, brace this bottom up real good to where I can jump on it and it doesn't budge. And then once I get it to where I can jump on it, you know, and jump up and down on it, bounce on it, and it doesn't budge, then I'm gonna go ahead and run my boards, my support beams up from these concrete columns down here, these footers. And you know, we should have a good solid top floor up there. And my wife and I were talking about it. We might do a half, like just a loft, you know, where it stops halfway, do about a 10-foot loft, just for storage, you know, or something like that. Something the boys could sleep up there if they, you know, wanted to. But it'd probably be more for storage, because the camper is primarily where we're living and sleeping at. You know, we would have a wood stove in here and things like that. But yeah, so I may do a full top floor, or I may just do a loft on one edge, because you got to think about it, this is going to be a barn eventually. Like I say, now it's going to be a little cabin where we're going to stay while we build our house. But eventually it's going to turn into a barn. So having that in mind, you know, I want to kind of, you know, build this to where it'll be able to make that transition pretty easily. Like I said, it might be better to not have that top story go all the way, but to have it as like a little loft. And then we can have hay up there and have like a simple little ladder, you know, that goes up where we can get hay and kind of toss it down, things like that. So it's good, it's good. Like I said, we're excited. I'm just trying to peel around a little bit, as I said, so that I can get that concrete time to cure, because I don't want to rush it and then mess it up. But as y'all seen, I've done the farm chores, and you know, I was really thinking that it was gonna be dry and cured by the time I got ready for it this morning. But I really didn't think about, you know, it was gonna be so cold last night, it won't have time to cure, and it really needs a couple days. So I think I'm gonna get around here and piddle around a little bit more and see if I can get this stuff time to dry. And like I said, I'm probably gonna end today's video here and just pick y'all up on the next one. So it's I.A.G Farms, it's all about God. We'll see y'all on the next one.